What's up, everybody? I am back to bring you another League of Legends or LOL Champ review video. This week, I'm going to try and see if I can do the review on Chogath, as he just kind of got an update, and he's a lot more powerful than he used to be. They increased his ultimate's damage potential and utility, which I really hope I can go ahead and show in this game, but before I decide who this video will officially be on, why don't you give me a minute to see what role I can get. You'll have to forgive me if I sniffle a little bit. I'm feeling slightly under the weather. But other than that, feeling pretty excited for this game. Done a lot of homework so far today as far as written stuff, and it's nice to do something a little bit more on the creative side. So it looks like I should be able to get Chogath, so I'm going to start going along with the information on him as soon as this opens up. Can I find him? There he is. Oh, it's not gonna let me mouse over him right now? It's being picky. Huh. Alrighty, so it looks like I'm gonna get top, so now that they're all highlighted I can mouse over. So Chogath's passive is that when Chogath kills a unit, he gets to heal for a flat HP amount and also gets a flat amount of mana. It's a small amount of mana, but it's every time he kills a minion, so that can really add up, and it gives Chogath some nice sustain in the laning phase. His Q, Rupture, you target a ground location, and shortly after doing so, spikes pop up, knocking the opponent in the air and slowing them while dealing small damage. Chogath's W is Feral Scream. Chogath unleashes a terrible scream at enemies in a cone, dealing magic damage and silencing enemies for a few seconds. Essentially, you target the area in front of you, it's going to deal damage, and it's going to stop opponents from casting spells. That can be extremely powerful late game if you use it correctly. Vorpal Strikes, Vorpal Spikes. Chogath's attacks will passively deal damage automatically in front of him. This becomes very, very useful late game. It allows Chogath to do some significant and nice damage. And Chogath's are, just so I can read you what they have, devour an enemy unit, dealing a high amount of true damage. If the target is killed, Chogath grows, gaining maximum health, up to 6 stacks. Chogath loses half of his stacks upon death. Half the cooldown and mana cost are refunded if the minion or monster is killed. So, Chogath can eat a minion or monster, dealing a large amount of damage. And if it kills, Chogath will temporarily get bigger and gain more health. Chogath can stack this up to 6 times, and if he eats a champion, I believe the change was now he gains 2 stacks, as well as eating enemy monsters will heal Chogath now if he kills, as well as eating enemy champions will heal double what killing a monster does. And I think those values are 150 and 300 respectively, but don't quote me on that. I'll be excited to try him out in the new game. You're going to see the skin I'm using as his Nightmare, although I could use Gentleman or Blackness. You know what, why don't we use Gentleman just because it's a bit more fun as a skin. It's got a lot going on with it. It's kind of silly, kind of interesting. When I play Chogath, I play him in the top lane. I think Chogath really excels as a top lane champion. And you're going to want to take Teleport and Flash. Flash to get away, Teleport to sustain yourself and be able to get back to the lane, as well as plan for quick ganks throughout the game. I'm hoping I can show you a few of those periodically. I like to play Chogath as a more tanky champion, And just to assist in last hitting, I bring armor and magic resist with a little bit of physical attack damage on Chogath. You could swap that out for some ability power to increase his spell damage, but I personally kind of struggle a little bit sometimes with last hitting on specific champions, and I think that having that little bit of extra AD helps out in the beginning of the game. So, I want to make sure we're recording. And we are recording. Alright, I just wanted to be sure. I would really hated to have to redo this. So, Chogath is a tanky AP champion, not a tanky AD. So that means you're going to generally, with our team, we don't have another main tank. So what I'm probably going to do is go full tank, but you can go off tank Chogath and not build full tanky items. And then your goal would be to deal a little damage as well. But I'm going to be focusing on making sure I take damage and then kind of controlling the enemy team with Chogath's knockup and his silence ability. And if I land those correctly, I should be able to help my team really gain wins. Chogath really excels at being able to kind of either protect or sometimes engage, depending on how you use his Rupture. I prefer to protect with Chogath. When the enemy team kind of dives into your back line or your squishier champions, like your AP carry and your AD carry, his knockup works really well for going ahead and instantly knocking up those people that try to get on top of them right away. And that silence helps prevent them from either running away or continuing to do further magic damage. And I think that really works well, although you could use the Rupture to catch the enemy off guard, immediately silence, which you'll see me do a lot of the time when I'm in skirmishes this game, or like one-on-one or two-on-one fights. And that way you grab your opponent, you knock them up, and then beyond that you make it so they can't really do anything other than auto attack. So versus an AP champion, that can be absolutely devastating if it hits correctly. But as we're loading in here, it looks like the game should go pretty smoothly. Oh, sorry, I'm very, very tired. I did not get a lot of sleep last night. I really wish I had gotten more, but I have a lot of work to do today for this and for other stuff, and had a lot of work to do yesterday. So, when I would play Chogath, for this game, I actually think the enemy team has a bad team to play against Chogath. I think that silence versus Arya and Gragas could be pretty dangerous, as well as the silence could help with preventing Malphite to get the combo off he needs to really screw Vayne up. I think that the true damage is going to really help with Malphite building mostly armor. We have a lot of magic damage on your team other than Vayne, and Vayne is probably one of the better champions at ripping through the armor late game. Not so much early game, but very good late game. I think that'll come into play for us. This would be a great team to pick Chogath against. They have kind of more of an armor-based top laner. My goal is going to be primarily to just stay alive for this laning phase. As long as I don't die and we transition into the late game, well, I think I'll be pretty good. Wow, my mouse is really jumping around right now. Hold up, why is that happening?
Anything less would be
My sensitivity feels kind of wonky, like overly sensitive almost, but I just haven't played League in a while is what I'm guessing, so I'll get used to it pretty quick here. Different things to buy. I could have started with some AP if I was going to go aggressive, but like I said, I'm planning to just kind of farm here, and I'm going to go a little defensive. So the first thing I'm going to take, you could take Rupture or his Silence. Both do pretty decent damage. Both have good CC. I'm going to start with his Vorpal Strikes just to help with CCing. And those are going to help me last hit, or not CCing, last hit. I apologize. And I started with items with a Dorn Shield for increased health and defense, as well as a health potion. I'm going to be against their Malphite, and we'll get going here. The first item you're going to see me probably work towards is going to be Rod of Ages. Generally, you don't as Malphite, or this Chogath, sorry, like I said, pretty tired. You'll want to get that tanky and AP. The Rod of Ages kind of is the best of both worlds there. And it really, late game, adds a lot of power without having to sacrifice too much durability. So it's just a really nice item to have, and I would recommend it on Chogath almost every time you play him. It's really hard to have a scenario where it's not a good pick. Even going the tanky route, which I am, it's still a good option for me. You can see Malphite started the ground slap like I recommend you always do. It's because he's trying to slow down my ability to go ahead and kill him. I was able to give the Vorpal Strike grab that other last hit for me that I would have missed. So now me and him are both level 2. You can see I missed 2 last hits there, but I was able to do half of his life. So I'm going to burn that first health potion of his, which is pretty nice for us. Now my goal is to mainly just keep last hitting, and hopefully my Vorpal Strikes or spikes can keep getting through and preventing his shield from coming up, because as you know, Malphite, if you've watched my other videos, has that shield that regenerates over time, and being able to prevent that from coming up is going to be extremely useful, because as long as that shield doesn't come back up, Malphite will not be able to really get away too much, and Malphite's going to go down here. And I'm going to give the kill to her, because she's the jungler. She's going to make a bigger impact over range. We got Malphite's flash there, which is really good, because now he doesn't have an escape. And I now have a level lead. So all the things that I really wanted to go in our favor did, which is going to be extremely useful. I believe the Rupture does not go up in knock-up or cooldown reduction when you upgrade it. It only goes up in damage, where the Silence goes up in silence duration, damage, as well as the mana cost goes up a little bit, and the Vorpal Strikes just go up a flat amount as well. So what I'm probably going to do is increase the... what's the damage difference? It's only a 10 damage difference in all honesty. I'm probably going to max his Feral Scream, because I want that additional burst to help when I get my ultimate for the ability to potentially go in for kills. The Vorpal Spikes I'm going to probably do last. I mainly have those just for last hitting right now, and to go ahead and assist in preventing Malphite's shield from coming back up. And you can see that because of my passive with continually healing, I really haven't had an issue where I've run out of HP or even been low on HP. And you can see I can, because of that, poke a little bit, because I'm also regenning the mana, and that's, in the long run, just going to allow me to stay alive, continue to get last hits, and keep myself in a positive situation. You can also see that Malphite's already bought some magic resist, which is going to make it really hard for me to kill him using just magic damage. So what I'm going to want to do is focus on the farming as I have been. I used my Feral Scream there because I think his shield was getting close to coming back up, and I really don't want that shield to ever come back up. I want him to have to be using health potions, to have to be wasting things he doesn't want to waste, and to have to be wasting that gold to buy more potions, because I just prevent him from being in a situation where he doesn't need to use the potions. Especially with how much life I have, I can continually just push into him and keep him in those poor positions. And now I officially have my ultimate, and I'm going to eat this right away. It does 1,000 true damage to minions, and that's going to go ahead and give me more HP for until I die, as well as it's going to make me a little bigger. And it's always fun when your character gets bigger, like always fun. Ooh. You can see Malphite is now level 6. I'm kind of getting a little more aggressive, because if I get him to a specific amount of health, I can kill him. So you're going to see that I'm just trying to attack him when I have the opportunity, and he allows me to. Because if I can keep that up, I can kill him, and that would be excellent. Now, my ward just went down, and I'm in a pretty dangerous situation. My HP isn't low, but it's certainly not, like, high. Now my HP is getting better, because I'm killing those minions.
I challenge you to duel.
And you can see he's trying to stop my harass by hitting me, but I have enough mana to use one more Scream and then feast him. He's at 470 life, and I need him at 300 to automatically kill him. So if I can just do a little more damage, I can kill him. And his shield came back up, but I'm going to prevent him from backing. And there we go. His shield's back down, and now those Vorpal spikes will poke. That will poke when I hit him. He's not going to give me the chance to go ahead and eat him and kill him. So I'm just going to burn my mana here. Continue to weaken him. I'm going to force that back. And then I'm going to probably go ahead and back and run back so that I don't waste that teleport. But I've got Malphite in extremely disadvantageous position. We got the first dragon. Normally I would have teleported down for that. I was completely oblivious, actually. And we actually are probably going to lose people on this big time. Oh, and we aren't. That is excellent. Okay, so he ultied. They're not going to be able to kill me. And he healed just enough right as I ate him. He should be dead. I actually forgot to buy items. That's why I wasn't able to do anything there. Gosh darn it. That was a very rookie mistake that I made. I'm very much ahead in CS, but it should be okay that I have that one death. Unfortunately, though, I did lose a lot of... I did lose half of my stacks of eating and getting more HP, which is rough. But I do have a lot more ability power now, and soon I will have enough for Rod of Ages. I'm very close. I only need 300 gold, and as soon as I get the money, I'm going to back, because how that item works is the more time that passes, the more powerful it gets up to a certain point, and you want that to get to its max power as quickly as possible, obviously, and so you really make sure you don't waste too much time where you could have it getting more powerful. There we go. Malphite is missing again. We both wasted teleport. I wasted my teleport, because I died with my teleport going down, which is an absolute shame. And as you can see, Malphite really can't hurt me right now. I'm by far strong enough to tank it. He bought magic resist, and I'm going to just poke him then, because I have a ton of mana regen now with my items. They're not a ton of mana regen, but every time I level, my mana regen is going to come in spades. And I just prevented his shield from coming back up, and from him from going ahead and preventing damage, or last hitting as effectively. So not only is last hitting getting harder for him, it's getting more difficult for him to keep his HP and mana up. But I've used a lot of my mana now, and I haven't leveled up recently, so I'm going to stop using a ton of mana after eating that minion, waiting for the cooldown to come back up. I'm just gonna last hit minions and focus on
An enemy has been slain.
last hitting. There we go. You can see his shield's down. That's the perfect time for me to drop some poke. Is I auto attack till that shield goes down, and then all I have to do is poke him slowly. And as long as I do that, I can eventually get him into that kill zone, even with him having so many health potions. And I just cleared all of those minions with a single kill, and that refreshed a bunch of my mana. Leveling refreshed a bunch of my mana. And actually, as soon as that scream comes back up, and he's dead. Just like that. I got him to that HP point where my next hit would kill him with my ultimate. I ate him, and that gave me double the stacks for eating a minion. It's a little more difficult to eat people, but hey, it works. And you'll see a red ring underneath them when you go ahead and they get to a specific point. You get a little bit of a warning when they're in that zone. So that's super useful, and you can see now that I've just been able to completely take control of this lane. 108 CS to his 79. He's trying to build items to counter me. It looks like I have enough gold for my item. He's gonna knock me up here, and I'm just gonna be able to walk away.
An ally has been slain.
I'm just gonna eat him. And now I am in great position to back, because I should have backed a long time ago for Rod of Aegis, and I did not. They have a pretty large amount of crowd control. I will get Mercury Treads. Mercury Treads are the boots I recommend if they have more magic damage. I would recommend Ninja Tabby if they have more physical damage. Now they do have some physical damage, but not a ton. And they don't really have a ton of auto attack based damage either. So I think what I'm going to do is Ash crits a lot. I'm going to get the Randuin's Omen straight away. Now the enemy team is weakened. They are low. I'm going to head towards Dragon to try and secure a second Dragon for us, and then be able to teleport back to the top lane. A nice way to be able to use teleport. It helps a lot. So right now I'm kind of going through some of the different things you can be trying to do throughout the game. Try to stay ahead. Always should. Chogath is a very powerful champion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to silence Gragas. He's going to completely screw that up, and he's going to go down. Oh man. Should have eaten him, but I didn't. Did I get him? Nope. Can I get her? Nope. But I did stop the back. That's pretty nice. Top lane's gonna take a little damage there. Nothing too crazy. I am gonna be able to level that up. I now have level 11 ultimate, which is going to mean that my ultimate now does 525 true damage, which is enormous. What I'm going to do is just go top, push it in. Malphite has been rushing magic resist and not HP. That's going to really hurt him because I do a ton of damage based on the opponent's max health with that true damage. And so Malphite really didn't buy the items he should have this game at all. He's put himself in a very risky position, and his risk hasn't paid off at all. You'll notice I'm no longer eating minions. That is primarily because I'm at Chogath's max stack size. He's not going to get any bigger. And that means that there's no point in wasting my ultimate to eat minions. I can just use it to go ahead and kill champions at this point. So what I am going to do is try and sneak up on Malphite and get the kill. Actually, there is going to be a big fight. That's going to be one kill there. See if I can help with another. That's two. That's 3 kills. And I did silence her. So she wasn't able to finish me. But darn it, they did get her. And in the end, that ended up being a poor fight for us. They got more kills than we did. I was too low to stay, although my team wanted me to.
What?
We are in quite the predicament right now.
Anyone for a spot of tea?
You can see that I'm currently at 4 stacks, I think, out of 10. So I need to gain some more stacks. I've only had it for 4 minutes.
Your turret has been destroyed.
I need to head bottom. Thresh continues to die here, which is really hurting us.
Yes, good sir.
Oh no, she got caught. And that's going to be 2 kills for us. Let's see if we can get the 3rd. And that's going to be very nice.
Let us fight like gentlemen.
We did lose a turret for it, but we were able to get 3 kills there, which helps out.
Oh, brother.
And I'll be able to head middle now to try and help with that situation.
You, sir, are a coward and a ruffian.
Alrighty. So, I'm starting to get to that point where really I need to be protecting and not trying to do damage and be grouping up with my team. So, I'm going to go back and get this item, and then you'll see me begin to group up. I now have the Randuin's Omen, and that will allow me to go ahead and slow people's attack speeds in an AoE around me, which is going to be really nice. Baron just spawned. We could try for Baron. I am tanky enough. They probably don't have ward coverage yet, as Baron is fresh. We should maybe be trying for that. And I did hit the knock up there. If we had been ready to follow up, the enemy team seems to be grouping very well compared to us. We haven't been doing a good job grouping up. It's kind of, we've been very disorganized. Their Malphite is pushing really hard, even though he's weaker than me, because I can't split push, because my team is just doing all sorts of weird stuff.
What?
I mean, we're winning in every sense of the word, but we're not winning very cleanly. It's been a very sloppy game on our part as far as team coercion or cohesiveness.
I'll bite your legs off.
What I'm probably going to just do is push up now
little fellow. Anyone for a spot of tea?
I am pushing the top lane as hard as I can right now, because my teleport is up. You can see I do not have magic resist really too much yet. I need to get on that. So you're going to see me back here and purchase my first magic resist item. My first real magic resist. And then rotate towards dragon. What I'm going to do is go for dragon again and then try and hold my TP to head back to top. And there's dragon. We should be able to rotate in here. And I did hit the knock up there. That's going to be devastating. Come on, guys. What are we doing? Alright, so now we are really low on life. We have to kind of run. We're not in the best of positions, unfortunately. I will be baking. Baking? Yep, I'm baking a cake.
What?
I'll regen as I get into lane. I don't need to sit in the well too long. I have pretty decent health regen going right now.
One can survive everything nowadays, except death.
You'll see I heal 56 a hit.
I challenge you to a duel.
That minion's invulnerable to champions, so not much I can do there. Other than the just kind of try to push the rest of these minions up. You can see I'm basically full health again, even though I came to the lane with half. That's just to try and give you an idea of how fast Chogath can really use his attacks to heal up. His healing is actually underestimated a decent bit. We're finally all grouped. And that's going to be enough for this turret to just absolutely get obliterated. We're just going to push into it. That's going to be the first turret. Now we have minions coming. I almost hit that rupture. If I had hit it, that would have been a kill. We're going to see that we are trying to push in here. I am throwing my spells out to try and help. Let's hope they try to engage on us, actually, is what we're hoping for.
Would you like some cheese with your wine?
So I'm going to continue to taunt at them. We basically have infinite health and mana to work with. We just need to I am slowly getting abused down here, though. And without minions, my health regen is much lower than what it could be. So we need to get the durability back up there, and they're going to engage. I'm going to silence and immediately try and get in there. I am gonna die. I don't know what happened with my team, but nobody was able to do anything to them. What did the most damage to me? I took a lot of magic damage, actually. A lot of magic damage. If they get that Baron, it could be very bad news for us. And we do get that one kill to take Baron buff off her, but unfortunately they did get Baron, which is what's really gonna hurt us. We are in a poor position now with them getting that. We really need to kind of pick it up a little bit here. Oh, description of the items I'm buying. The first item was the Rod of Ages, like I talked about. The second item I picked up was my Mercury Treads the Boots. I know I talked about that. But my third item was Randuin's Omen. I picked it because it's tank for physical damage as well as it's tank for crit strikes. Ashe does a lot of critical damage, so I picked that up to increase that, as well as it gives me the ability to reduce attack speed. I recommend that versus high attack speed champions that have high crit damage. Ashe being the most critically acclaimed champion, I would argue. I am going to force her to ult there, which is good. I'm going to see if I can't pigeonhole in any champions. And Malphite's going to make the mistake of getting close. So am I. Wow, they're going ham on me. I'm going to go down, but at least I was able to hopefully get some stuff set up for kills for us. My team is just making loads of mistakes and throwing this game away. We're going to end up losing this one potentially. I do not recommend that item, but I will pick up this one. I need a little bit more damage to help out my team. We're not doing enough. I need to get that damage so that when I hit the spells and I use Feast, it can be more of a potent hit. Because right now, it just doesn't quite deal the damage it needs to for us. There it is. That's another minion down. So as when you feast on minions, it should be noted that it reduces the cooldown by 30 seconds to help you spam it to gain stacks back. So the problem we are currently running into is we just do not have the damage output to kill them for some reason, even though we have a ton of high damage champions. The play from our team just isn't there. As well, Chogath is a good tank, but he is not among the most tanky of champions in the game, I would say. He's very, very tanky, but you don't tend to build him as the full tank like you do certain other champions. Right now, my team, as you can see, is still split up across the map for some reason.
Anyone for a spot of tea?
Enemy rampage.
We're going to lose this game because my team will just not group up. And sometimes, I mean, you can't win them all. That's certainly for sure. But I started this game 5-1-5, which is very, very excellent. And Chogath does transition into the late game quite well. So it's just the fact that my team has really failed to group up and do what needs to get done to be useful. I'm just basically being hammered on until... Oh, and I am gonna go down still. I just don't know why my team refuses to group up and play as a team. And she's gonna go down there. It's just a full AP Malphite.
Anyone for a spot of tea?
We're in a very, very bad position. I'm nearly full build and I can't tank the damage because my team's just not there to put any pressure on. I finally have max stack ability.
Let us fight, my gentlemen.
We need plenty of wards on Baron to prevent them from being able to blindly take it. I am holding my teleport.
Yes, good sir.
And we are going to be able to get Baron off of this. They will prevent 5th Dragon, but we're going to get Baron. And ultimately that's going to be more effective for them to only get a Dragon and us get Baron than for us to get 5th Dragon and them get Baron. Because we really needed those minions to help us. Oh, come on. And they were able to save Malphite from being caught there because of Tom Kench. This is an intense game. I'm getting a little frustrated by how difficult this one is because of how easy it should have been. I'm hoping the enemy team is able to be caught here by us, but it's looking pretty rough for us right now.
Anything less would be uncivilized.
Alright, and it looks like we are just going to back, so I'm going to purchase.
Oh, bother.
And they're just gonna straight up engage on us because they know we don't have Bane. So this is gonna be a total utter loss of 2 of our Baron buffs. But at least me and her survived. So that's something. Malphite didn't build super tanky, so they don't have that going for him. She just healed, so I can't exactly stop that, and they are going to be able to get inhib. Oh man, this is a bad one. I don't like losing games when, you know, it should have been an easy win for us, and because of poor team decisions, the game just goes terribly south. But we were able to. Oh man, that's gonna be the death of me. That's gonna be a kill. And we just keep getting murdered by the enemy team. Taking way too much physical and magic damage, both. And I just don't have the durability to deal with it. And my team doesn't have the damage to prevent it. And yeah, we're in a tough spot. We went from being insanely ahead to being insanely behind, which is not a good position to be in. Well, this isn't good at all. A rather rough predicament. And we're dead. We are going to lose, but I will not surrender. We'll lose with dignity at least. And I'm glad I was able to show you guys some of the mechanics Chogath has to offer. I'm just sad that it couldn't be a win. But easy come, easy go. The next item I was going to buy in that kind of situation would have been the Frozen Heart finally at the end, because physical damage started being a huge problem. But in the end, I think it was still a great game. It was a fun game, and we played it pretty decent. Yeah. I think that Chogath, in my opinion, is a very, very good champion, though. I think he's extremely strong, and I think he fits into a lot of team comps really well. I think where we ended up screwing up was we just had no team cohesion, and if we had had some, I think it could have gone a lot better. But, hey, it was a good game. It was a well-played game, and I will see you guys next time. See ya.